Welcome to another feature of Saturday Morning Runnings, aired live Saturdays at 10 a.m. I am your host, Lady D. Denise Gomez, producer of Inside the Zone. Inside the Zone is aired Mondays 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursdays 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linkage Radio in Mount Vernon, New York. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to my YouTube channel. This week's topic, foreign no Gree with everybody. For many reasons, people immigrate, and when they do, their dreams and expectations of being in a new country give them a the sky is the limit phenomenon. But what of those who feel worse off than before they left their homeland? Foreign, no agree with everybody. A Saturday morning runnings come. Make we talk. The crew on board are Maxine Maxpoint Lyons, Jackie Brainbox Tyson, and of course, yours truly, Lady D. Denise Gomez. Unfortunately, Sharons will not be joining us. They're busy. Jen will not be able to join us. However, we wish them God's blessings for today. Ladies, how una do? It's another Satideh, and we are
Yes,
alive and
hi.
giving thanks. Morning, morning, morning.
Morning.
We're doing
Mm,
fabulous, not complaining. We're in one piece, we're in our right minds, and that's the best thing there is right now.
I am telling you, and we would not ask for anything else
Me is
because
Absolutely.
fine.
so many
Me
things
not
are
just a come
happening.
here.
So many
Me
things
is
are
fine.
happening. So many things are happening that, we have to just say, Lord, it's another day,
Mm-hmm.
and we are so thankful to you for sparing our
Absolutely.
lives. So, what can I say? Welcome,
Mm-hmm.
everyone. It's another exciting feature of Saturday morning runnings.
I do miss the crowd are coming.
I see them. I
Fast,
see
fast.
them. Yep. Wanna come,
Open the
wanna
door, open the
come.
door, and let them in.
Yes,
Hey,
man.
Bet.
All faithful them. Thank
I
the
see
Lord.
Bet popping early. I'm sure
Mhm.
this topic this morning will certainly incite
Mm-hmm.
some
Yes.
flashbacks and meaningful
Yes.
conversations
Tell me
because
about the
there
flashbacks.
is no one of any nationality who has come into a foreign country. We reside in the United States, but across the world, people have left their homeland seeking better, as we say. And
Absolutely.
the better has um, escalated for many. I mean, people have found themselves into new spheres of businesses and family, and they are doing well. But what about those who they dream or realize all no?
God have mercy.
Not
Because
even move
there
on where
you
them
have
come.
gotten a lot of derailments along the way,
Mm-hmm.
and we keep getting that flashback when me leave my yard for why me come
Mm-hmm.
to this particular country wherever we
Mm-hmm.
reside, and it
Yes.
has held many people back, and many have also stood up in their reality that listen, me there already, me better make it work wherever you
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
are in the world. And so I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the driving factor behind our conversation this morning, because
Absolutely.
we can stay in pity party, although we have our own
No.
experiences, right? And realities. And that's the truth. So we'd like to welcome
Yes.
everyone this morning. Can I say Betty was the second one in line? Andrea
I know.
first,
I
everybody.
saw that.
hmm So we want to welcome morning Drea. How you do? See she counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
I
5,
know.
4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I tell you, Andrea, thank you for the countdown.
Ready
And
to go.
invariably are we late. If it must be something, but we don't broadcast late at all at any given day on a Saturday. You can expect that you're going to
Yes.
see us pop up, especially if you're subscribers. If you have not yet subscribed to Inside of the Zone with Lady D, One, you should. So you see that little thummy thing which says like. You can just like, and there is the
We need
share.
the likes too.
Share it.
The
Yes,
likes
because the
help.
share helps to generate.
Subscribe.
Mhm. Helps to generate interest.
Yes.
People will see this thing popping up, even if they're not yet subscribers. And so we want you to like it, like what you see, share it with somebody, and then you subscribe. You just tap that little word you see in with shaded in red with the white lettering. You just tap it, and then you'll see a bell. You just tap the bell, and you'll see the word all. You tap all, which means each and every time we're here, or when
You
I'm
know,
airing my program twice weekly, Mondays
Mhm.
and Thursdays, you'll be able to participate and enjoy the show. So if you notice my backdrop this morning, it looks familiar to many. If you don't
some
have one, then we can go into that conversation as to why you don't have one. All right, we have to ensure that we follow the right disclaimers. But if you don't have
Mhm.
one of these behind me there,
All
then
right.
Mhm.
you need to figure it out. Okay.
Yeah.
So good morning to everyone. Max, how was your week?
Oh, my week was just very busy. Can't complain though. Just busy. Good busy. Good busy. Good busy. I went and
Wonderful.
voted
That's
most
good.
importantly. Because
Oh, you voted.
we're
Okay.
having a runoff here. So I
Mhm.
made sure it happened. We went
Yes.
on Monday and the line was long from here to Jericho. We went back on
Yes.
Tuesday, we made it
Yes.
happen. We stood in line
Oh,
and made it happen. So that's my biggest plus and takeaway for the week, believe it or not.
wonderful.
Because if
Wonderful.
you don't choose who you want, you have to take who you get.
Same,
Thank
same.
you. Safari agree with you.
Yes, you know.
One
I
time
know
you
man,
could,
I
one
know
time
man.
you,
It's no
Max,
man.
Max, one time you could only see the line.
You saw me talk about
Thank
one
you.
time, I don't know what the line there.
You
Oh
see the line, I say, what
Lord.
a line there for?
I tell
And
you.
I say,
Eh,
what a line
Don't,
there for?
don't I have stories? Oh my God, I'm telling my stories are many.
Mhm. So, Jack, how you do?
Oh, me do good. Me do good,
Nice.
yeah.
Yes.
Man, try balance the regular life. That's why this is my downtime with this stuff. With
Mhm.
something I got pick up in my old age called school.
Yes.
Understand? That's one thing where foreign bring you. If you
Mhm.
like you mentioned escalate. If you want
Yes.
to escalate, I mean around de-escalate. So as
No.
much as the brain cells are diminishing, I have taken up the thing they call school again. And it's challenging, but
Yes.
in the end, that's what I'm looking for,
You'll
the
make it.
rewards.
You'll
But
make
so
it.
this week has been has been good.
Mhm.
It's been a good week.
Wonderful. I'd like
Nice.
to acknowledge, as always, welcome to Saturday Morning Runnings to our viewing guests. What a pleasure. So, Andrea helped us to count down because she was looking forward.
I know.
Betty was here early. Good morning. And she's saying morning. And she said,
Morning.
and then, of
Morning.
course, our
Better now.
avid supporter, King.
Ryan,
Hey,
Mhm.
Ryan.
Vero.
And he's saying morning to everybody. And Jackie
Who
said
is
hello.
CJ?
Who is that? Let's see.
CJ Barrett.
Oh, Carlton. Morning, Carlton. You reach.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Carlton Catch.
Morning, Vera. Good morning.
Morning, Vero. Ryan said B box, brain box. Jackie, that name stick.
Stick for
Uh-huh.
me.
Mhm.
So me have to deliver phone now. For
And
you and Ryan at least.
yes,
Auntie
and
Max.
and
Hi,
your
Ryan.
auntie
How are
Max.
you? Yeah, call me Hans now.
So Betty said, Betty, Betty.
You never agree with me at 10.
So that's a
Oh,
back
God, Betty
office
love
joke
to kill
between
me.
Betty. That's a back office joke between Betty, between Betty and myself. So when Betty was turning 40,
Eh.
one day we were in Mount Vernon together. She was planning her party. And as we were in a Chinese establishment placing an
Mhm.
order, suddenly I just looked at her and she just sat down on a chair that they had right there. And I said, and she looked like the whole world just came down on her. And I'm like,
Oh
Betty,
God.
what happened to you? And at that point, it hit her that she turning 40.
Oh,
Right? Poor Bet.
oh Lord.
That was a day. Betty was, I mean, instantly, she
You
realized, oh, but
traumatized.
I'm
Party
getting older.
traumatized her.
I'm getting older, and things were not in place yet. So
Yeah.
Yes. I know
um,
that feeling. Yeah. Mm-mm.
it was a
Mm-mm.
stressful day for poor Betty. We could laugh at it sometime after, but um, at the time,
At, at the
I
time, it wasn't laughable.
no, no, me did feel it fear. I laughed, but we both knew that I understood in that
Yes.
moment. So Betty, um, we want to bless you. And
You're,
you
you're
too
40
have
and you're
come a
still
long
here.
way. Betty come a long
Yes.
way. I have come a long way. Everybody who has come into a country, because
Yes.
again, it's not just about the US, right? It's wherever you
Yes.
are, wherever
Mm-hmm.
you are. For many of us, so she laughing her head off.
Mhm.
Mhm. But, for many of us, we came either for love, we came either because of children, we came because somebody petitioned for us, we came because we like the place, wherever
Yeah,
that
we hear
place
same
is.
place.
That
We hear same
we
place
hear,
now, so we didn't come and report.
right. We heard that, things are happening. And many of us came because people told us a lie, right? They sold
Mm-hmm.
us
True.
something that wasn't true. I grew up in Clarendon, and so seeing people coming into penance, traveling from foreign. Again, I just mentioned the other day that at first I thought foreign people didn't have yard clothes because, because everybody come out there
Lord.
trash,
Dress up.
dress up,
Uh-huh.
right?
Mhm.
And so we formed in our minds now this place that, man, it seemed to be better than where I am.
Yes.
Or, some of us traveled from time to time. And when you come with the dollars, again, not only in the United States, but I'm talking about the US now. I would come to the US and I would be able to carry my little dollars with me and shop and go home. And, people cater to your needs and they take you around and so on. But that's not your reality. You don't live in the country. You don't know what it is like to earn the dollar. And depending on how much you earn, you don't know what it is to pay for rent. You don't know nothing. All you know, you just come
Mhm.
and all seem to be well. And then you might ask a friend, so boy, um, I think me want leave. And nobody go and look at you and say, don't come, because everybody comes into a country and it's either it make you, break you, or you make something
A bit, yeah.
out of it. And you have
Mhm.
to be truthful with yourself. So you might say a one-off conversation, and then them say yes and ting, right? And you might come. And then when reality hits you know that, listen, on a vacation you're on no more. You have to find place to live. You have to
Mhm.
earn. You have to take care of yourself. It's called a new beginning.
Yeah.
And until you get that, somebody say,
And sometimes that new beginning, start after 2 weeks of you being in somebody's house and then begin to turn them nose. And you see
see,
the face when they wake up, their face where you used to turn
yeah,
so.
screw
You
face,
understand? Yes.
screw
Or so.
face. And and also many people have had their good jobs. Their lives were reasonably good. They were
Mm-hmm.
managing, and
True.
that too has caused a lot of people to be depressed, because now you have to start over unless somebody set up
Yes.
something for you and you move right into a similar field that you were in, and that kind of thing. You don't understand, Philip. You don't understand what it means to experience that change.
Mhm.
So when the change comes, you know, you don't even know what to do. You can't handle it. So we've all been there. I'm just presenting a general, summary.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are on and you'd like to drop us hints of your experiences, please do so we can talk about it because it's true. The moment I sent out the promo last night, someone I know popped in and said her life is not like it was, and she's Jamaican. Her
Okay.
life is not the same. So some people can't stand being here or there, but what you're gonna do at this point? So I open the
Already.
floor to Max and Jackie, and I will share my bits and pieces and share with us, what your experiences have been, because it has not been easy, has it?
No.
Mm.
Absolutely
No.
not.
And of course, you can tell us what it was like before you came, and if you can cite the good parts, because it's not all bad. So we know that.
No. It's
Absolutely.
not. It's not all bad. And sometimes when you think that your situation was bad or is bad, when you hear somebody else's situation, you say, Lord have mercy. You look at them may just brushing the edge. When you listen to somebody else's experience.
Mm-hmm.
For me, coming here, I came here to have my son in the beginning. That's how it started, because my son's father insisted that I came here to have the baby. And that was one of the reasons why I waited until I was close to having the baby, why I came here, because he was living here and he insisted that I came here to have the baby. And I would rather, it's my first child. I felt like I wanted to be closer to my family, which
Mhm.
almost everybody at the time, except one brother, was in Jamaica. And
Mhm.
I felt like I wanted to be close to my family there, but he insisted that I came here to have the baby. So when I came like a month, just a little bit over a month before the baby was born. And then I started traveling. It created a conflict at my job in Jamaica because I was working for the TPD
Mhm.
TPD along with Tourist Board. That's who I worked with, and it created a conflict at the time. I had to wait to get his birth certificate and stuff like that before I came back. So I went back over the time that I was supposed to go back to work. And it's like they were telling me that they didn't want us to take leave without pay. And it was a whole lot of stuff. So I just turned around and came back to the States.
Mm.
And then I
Okay.
started traveling back and forth like every 6 months. And when I decided, he was born 1999, when I decided not to travel anymore, it was right after 9/11.
Mm.
And I was supposed to return right after 9/11.
Mhm.
And it's like I just couldn't go on that plane. That
Mm.
was why I stayed. I
Okay.
was, and
Fear.
I was somebody who always
Traumatized.
liked traveling. Yeah, I didn't
You're
have any fear of
traumatized.
traveling until I saw that plane hit the Trade Center. I saw it. And
Mhm.
I couldn't go back on the plane. And that day I felt I never got depressed. I tell myself I'm not claiming depression, no matter how tough things are. I'm somebody who is strong enough to brave through it.
Yeah.
And that day, when my actual day of return to Jamaica, when I saw that the evening came and I did not go on that plane, I felt depressed because
Oh
I felt
Lord.
that now I'm losing everything. I'm losing my job that I could have gone back and fought for.
Mm.
I'm not gonna be able to see my family for a very long time. That was what came in my head because I knew I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna return. I
Mhm.
wasn't gonna return after that.
Mm.
And after that day, it was 8 years before I saw my family
There you go.
again.
Wow.
And between that time, a lot of things happened,
Yes.
even
Yes.
in a partial homelessness.
Mhm. Mm.
So it's a story. Everybody has a story, and I know some people's story is worse than mine. But
Yeah.
I'll just start that way.
Yes.
Like,
Thank you. And Max.
Well, you notice I have my hand, I'm holding my neck and holding my head, guys, because let me tell you something. I'm almost welling up with tears because my stories are many. And that's one of the things that drove me to writing poetry and music. And if you listen to my poetry and my songs, you'll see and hear my life stories being told in these songs, especially that last one, You See Me Glory, but you don't know my story.
Mm-hmm.
I, like Jackie said, I was traveling back and forth. Well, when I came to this country at first, I wasn't working in Jamaica. I had left my job to save my sanity. I resigned from my job because always, it probably would have happened. Life would have been in a different direction. So I
Mm.
left my job, and of course, I got my visa. Norman and had his already, and traveled once, and I came to this country. I remember a friend who lived in Jamaica at the time was traveling back and forth. This guy's a businessman, good friend of mine. When I told him I was going to come to America because I got my visa, he almost discouraged me. Say, when you go, you're going to see all kind of markup building, you're going to graffiti on the building and all the place stay, and you're going to be depressed because at the time I was coming to the Bronx. And with spite of all those conversations, I was already prepared and ready to travel. So when I came to this country, of course, I stayed with my sister-in-law, Norman's sister. Her base, but that's where my base was, even though my sister is here. And of course, I came for the 6 months because it was a visa. But I tried looking for employment, and of course, I did get employment. Went to an agency, got registered, got a job to work with a family, a Jewish family. And let me tell you something, guys. Mentally, I was distorted. I was depressed. I cried a lot for many reasons because I was accustomed to working in an office because I graduated from college with an Associate of Science degree in office administration. So I knew nothing about housekeeping. All I knew was working in an office. And when I had to come and work in somebody's house and wash them underwear, take care of them face picking, as the song say, and do all these things and get people talk them to me, it was just very strange. At night when I go to bed, I would cry. I would be depressed because I wasn't accustomed to that kind of a life. And I mean, and I had to live this way for a pretty long time. And I did it for spent 5 months, went back home and said to my husband, I'm not sure if I want to go back. But then reaching back home, there was no job, there was nothing, finances were difficult, and so I still had to make a move. And my fear to come back here, to come back to this country, the people I was working for, because after I left, they couldn't find nobody like me. And they told me that from their own lips. And when I came back here, they don't think it changed. The work was tough and enough, same way. Clean and songs I left from was go from one house, clean 3 homes in one day. That's a real
Mm-hmm.
story. Yes, that's a real story. They take me from the mother house to the daughter house to the daughter-in-law same day because they celebrate all these holidays. So of course I had to do a lot of cleaning up for these holidays. And the things didn't change. The salary was the same, everything was the same. And they tried to, I asked them to file for me, and they weren't paying for the file, they were just putting in paperwork. And they put in paperwork, but everything went down the hill when the lawyer or immigration wanted more information, wanted more documentation for them, which they were not willing to show or to excess their taxes, which is what they were asking
Mm-hmm.
for. So they said, okay, we can't do it. The mother was the one who was working on it. The husband tell her, oh, you can't do it. We can't show giving them more of our information out. So guess what? I had already paid the lawyer all of that money for this filing, and all of my money went down the drain. So you people will see a back home and see you a foreign and think it's a bed of roses. No, it's not. So that was part of my thing where I lost all of that filing, lost all of that money, and then I had to start all over again. Still working for them, still working with them, still putting up with their crap. Okay. And then eventually I left them because then we
Mm-hmm.
went to a restaurant in on Gun Hill Road, Normal, and then we started a restaurant thing, and that was where I branched off, where I started doing my own business. Till now, my green card, all that I was working with at the time was a tax ID. That was all I had
Mm-hmm.
to work with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we manage and we work our way up until we finally put filing in again. My sister-in-law did it this time. She just did the paperwork. We had to find the money to pay for everything, and we had to wait for years. Oh, my mother passed away. My grandmother passed away. Several family members passed away, and I could not go to Jamaica because I'm in the process of filing. You can't travel back and forth when you're filing. So that was part of it until today. thank God at this point, fast forward, I am a citizen. Let me tell you something. When I became citizen the other day, I wrote it on Facebook. Of course, I put my picture because I like to talk about my accomplishment and achievement. Because there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody commented on the chat that you're here so long and you just become citizen. But let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you something. People don't know your story. They see your
What
glory,
a
but
forwardness.
yes, somebody wrote and I responded to the individual because it's somebody who I know very well and who knows me very well. And the person is surprised at the fact that I'm here so long and just become citizen.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a long, rocky, rough ride, guys. It wasn't easy and it wasn't pretty.
No.
Thank God that things has changed. These are the best years of my life being in this country. Best years, I'm telling you. Financially, physically, the whole thing. When I went back to Jamaica in 2013 after we got green card, my entire country looked like a strange land. I couldn't recognize people, places, and things. It seems like I was gone forever. And I was happy when I got the chance to return to my place of birth. So foreign life is not easy, but it's what you make of it. When you come to this country, if you come here with a degree like I did, you can't play rich or you can't play stush. You got to do what you have to do to make it happen, to make it work. I could have sat down and relaxed and say, oh, man, I fold up my hands and said, oh, I have a college degree. I'm not going to work in somebody else and wash them underway. Well, guess what? I did it and it took nothing off me. It didn't make me any worse off. It just made me think differently and look at life differently and better off today. Because I couldn't sit down and rely on family members, who were going to help you anyways. So, that's my story in a
Thank,
nutshell. I could
thank
have
you.
gone into detail, but that's my story my personal story in a nutshell.
Yes. And there are many of us who can share bits and pieces. Um, when I came because I wanted to get medical help for my son. So, but as you know, I can smile now and maybe just say, sometimes when what they say, when man a plan, God a wife,
Wipe out, yes.
right? So sometimes some of us we don't like have a conversation. For those of us who are believers, we don't have no conversation with the Lord and say, Lord, this is things are very difficult. I don't have insurance anymore. The bills are piling up. Life had just gotten very hard because
Mm-hmm.
I found myself in that predicament and I wanted him to survive.
Right.
So I said, well, maybe this is the route I need to take. But I didn't pray on it. I just
Yes.
factored out it intellectually how it could work.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came, I was on a mission trying to do this and that. And some of the things that were presented to me, I know I would be seeing bars, and the only bars I know are the one where grill up a Philly door. So Denise, kindly say, hey, I mean, I have no plans to see no bars nowhere, except if I
Mm-hmm.
knock my door at
Yeah.
night. So certain, things, and people will say to you, so where you take so long, where you are do?
Mm-hmm.
And I am still trying to see how I can do this thing. But it's almost like every time I was to see a breakthrough, there was always something.
Obstacles,
I
yes.
tried for a while. There was always something. And
Mm-hmm.
then one day I had, I knelt down and I said, Lord, I'm here and the time gone already.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do? But
Mm-hmm.
because I know me and that fighting, resilient spirit that I have, I say, I am just going to live. So
That's
Yes.
what's keeping me.
he would come and go, which was a blessing because not many parents get to see their children if they didn't put things in place for them to come see them,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
right? Many parents leave and the thing just don't work out and they don't get to see their children.
Mm-hmm.
So I am started to just live. I would walk. I mean, I live in the Bronx. So I would walk. I remember walking from where I lived, go all the way past Gun Hill and White Plains Road, all the way down there. So you think me, and you know White Plains Road, for those of you who don't know,
Very long.
it's not just from there so to upper 241st Street,
Thank you.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That is not
Very
the
long.
full gamut of White Plains Road. So I would walk and go into people's business place. Because when I came here, granted, I went into something and stuff. But after a time, sometimes people can't keep you.
Mm-hmm.
So then we just tell you, say, regrettably, we can't keep you no longer.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to survive. You have to. So we
Yes.
would walk into people establishment, and when people say to me now, when I ask people, who come into my office and say, I say, what you want to do, and they say me, we take anything. Believe you me, I know that.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to say you want this something to do so badly that you're not going to tell them, oh, I have experience, or I have this, or I have this
Mm-hmm.
and that, and
Take what you get.
I give them the laundry list of a resume.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
And people would look. I remember walking walking into one place down a White Plains Road. The lady looked at me. She said, "Where you come from?" So I paused. She said, no, we're just talking. Where you come from and why you walk into my place wanting to work in here. So, and she just looking around the place as if to say me crazy.
Yes.
So I told her where I'm from. She said, I know things are difficult. I know. And believe me, it was during the winter time,
Mm-mm.
Oh
we
Lord,
walking
yeah.
in winter,
I have to
we
eat.
bundle up. And she says, I can't hire you. I would like to say, come. I could even put you in the kitchen, let you wash dishes. I said to the woman, believe me, when we used to have family gathering, I know about washing dishes. She said,
Mm-hmm.
no, I can't let you wash. Come here and wash dishes. I said, well, let me dust off table. You're trying to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you negotiate the work, you know.
And she would not take me on. She said, I tell you something. You're going to get your breakthrough. If you keep walking, if you keep asking, remain yourself, but I can't make you come in here, come wash plate. So I left. I used to walk and put up little stickers on people's car and say, call me, I can do whatever. And the break, it wasn't happening until one day somebody gave me something to do. And they couldn't even keep me long, but it was enough to hold me.
Yes.
Yes. You can get
I'm
some
telling
breakfast
you,
and some lunch and dinner. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so it go on until, few doors opened, thank God. And I was able to kind of hold up myself. Because in all of that, when you are seeking, there's that broken inner peace in you that is
Tell
saying,
me
look,
about it.
look when we come to, but you're
Look when
still
we come
pressing,
to.
right? Look when we come to, but you're still pressing. Sometimes no
Yes.
money. You don't have any money. I would walk. I remember go all the way into Mount Vernon. People see me a walk and they maybe think you're just on your mission and do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
But you're walking because you're hoping somebody on that particular day will say to you, yes, I'll employ you.
Mm-hmm.
And so from I said that prayer that day, I just saw the Lord opening little doors. And I'm telling you, is this morning I said to a friend, please do not have the tongue of ingratitude.
Mm-mm.
For
Mm-mm.
everything, anything anybody used to bless me with, I would say thanks to them until one day, one gentleman who I used to assist up the road, him said, Denise, or Lady D, whatever you call yourself. Same said to me, how much time you go tell me thanks? But I said, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand.
They
You don't
don't.
understand. One day me walking to his business place. It wasn't far from where I lived. And the day I was sporting a wig. So the day me did forget to drop the wig into the bag because it's winter. So when me reach work, me would put on the wig. When me reach, No
The
wig
wig
going.
wasn't in. Lord
And it
Jesus.
So me know me can't stay into the gentleman office with this old hat on my head. So me had to excuse myself quickly, run, go back home, walk in a pile of snow, just to go get
Your wig.
my wig so me can have an appearance in the man place.
Mm-mm.
So it's not today, some of us,
Mm-hmm.
and some deeper experiences I've had, which I don't wish to share, but
Me too.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it is not because, you know, God wasn't with us and with you. Some
Uh-huh.
people just gave up and took a plane and went back home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some people just go back home after a
I,
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
I know of a
One of
personal
my
story.
goals.
One
Oh,
second, Jack. Go ahead, Max.
I was saying I know of a personal story. This person has or had a green card, got filed for, got the green card, everything. Came to this country, used to go back and forth, found a lady, young lady who was a nurse, got married, everything. And but for some reason he would spend more time in Jamaica than he would here in the country.
Mm-hmm.
He eventually lost the green card
Oh,
because
no.
America no play. When you have a
Yeah.
green card, you have to be living here and paying taxes and have some kind of establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And this young man never had any form of establishment, even though he married and have the wife here. Eventually, the marriage eventually break up because he was spending more time in Jamaica than here. But apparently, it's not for everybody because this person couldn't cross the road. He was afraid to cross the street here. But
Oh.
so apparently, it's
Lord
not for
Jesus.
everybody. Yes, he just couldn't adapt to the American thing. You know, he would come and spend a short period of time, a month or a few weeks. He would just be, he just couldn't adapt. He just had that Jamaican thing in him, and it just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't him. And this
Mm-hmm.
person doesn't drive, even though I don't drive. This person don't drive. This person is not into social media, not into just
Nothing.
laid back kind of a lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
very laid back. So eventually the marriage went to naught, and
Went
he's in
out.
Jamaica. Lose the green card because the green card, if you're not living here, you eventually lose it. Can't even come
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
They have been a little more
even
lenient
a
in
Jamaican
recent
person
times.
wants to
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
They've been a little more lenient in recent times with that. But, you know, we know that people sometimes we make desperate decisions out of desperation,
true, true.
and it will come back to bite you. But I know that in the
Mm-hmm.
latter part before I came here, listen, no man, when you're working and then you get laid off, you have
Mm-hmm.
a child who is not well, constantly in hospital, all kind of unfortunate occurrences. You get your resources just it come in like then just slam a door and it lock.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, things you were
Mm-hmm.
managing at one point, but then there comes a time when something just hit and things dry up. Dry up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And in my experience, I have always been able to build relationships with people. So it's not like you're gonna sit down in your house and mirrors may take you. Because you know, eat you.
Mm-hmm. Like let me hear that expression, mirrors me.
Long time that you don't want to.
The girl used to say that.
you can't reach you can't reach out for help. But
Mm-hmm.
I've been there, and still there are still things that we need to overcome.
Yeah.
But you still know, say, listen, if I will not lay over and die, we have to survive. And it takes people
Yeah.
to help you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
It's
takes
survival.
people to help you. We
And you
can't
have to have
do it on our own.
Yes.
something in your head that says you have a goal.
Yep.
Something that you want to work
Yes.
toward. Because if you're just gonna free flow, you're not going to
Yes.
achieve what you came here for.
No.
And what I also
Mm-hmm.
find is that, can you hear me clearly, Lady D?
Yeah, there was a
Yes,
little
we're hearing you.
feedback. Continue.
Oh, okay. What I also find that is that the people who have come and struggled like you and I, and
Mm-hmm.
finally, get to the point where you've had a green card and you can work freely, and stuff like that, pay taxes and stuff like that. They're more appreciate and work harder to get to that goal than people who have somebody here, parents file for them or a family member file for them, and they come here. Next thing you know, them stand up on the corner up a Boston Road
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Yes.
Now work, now do
Mm-hmm.
nothing. You have a green card. Me have my green card, and them run I corner smoke like a weed and stuff like that. Not that I'm knocking your weed smoking, but the thing is, people spend all this money and file for you, and you come to this country. All you can do every day is get up 1 o'clock in the day and go stand up a Boston Road on the corner.
I find that to be a very selfish act because if somebody
Yes,
has to put out money, because it's not cheap, as we know,
it's not.
Absolutely, yes.
not cheap. And sometimes the people who are petitioning for relatives, they themselves don't earn as much based on the poverty guideline.
And be
And
careful of
so
these
they
men
have
that you're
to get
petitioning
people,
for.
to support, right, in terms of the affidavit and so on. And still,
Mm-hmm.
they're not grateful.
No,
No.
because I
They're
never
not
to bust them
grateful.
behind,
They
excuse my
take it for
language.
granted. But my heart goes out to, if you were established in your country, wherever you live, because I'm not speaking only of Jamaicans
Right.
from Jamaica, but if you were doing very well and you got the opportunity to come, because there's somebody on here who I'm encouraging as well, you know, you come. And fine, it is not what you expected. It is not what you're accustomed to. You leave house, car, land, job, and now
Mm-hmm.
here you are, playing catch up. Because what I find too, when we come here later in life, it's
Mm-hmm.
even more challenging.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, again, if you come into directly into something like somebody set up something for you and you just slide in, that's a big
Mm-hmm.
difference. But if the
Yes.
sliding no work
Yeah.
and you now have to start over, it's even more challenging for you.
Yes.
And you
Very
keep
challenging,
looking
Lady D.
back at what you're coming from, what you used to
Mm-hmm.
do. And then you start to
Yes.
compare because social media can be kind and not so kind to us.
Oh,
Because
yes.
you can be here and seeing the achievements of the people you left behind.
Mm-hmm.
So that also sparks a greater level of depression in you because you're
Yes.
saying, if I were there, I would still be studying, I would still be this, and all kind of stuff that you would have been doing.
Well,
But
you
what
know
do
what?
you
As you
do
mentioned
now?
about Sorry, as you mentioned about social media, thank God when I came, social media wasn't available. So you never have to worry about that. But, but what I recall is when I came, I left a house because we lived in a 3 bedroom house in Jamaica when before we came here. It was
Mm-hmm.
rented property, but it was a 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house, nice house. Old on the outside, but nice on the inside. Big bedroom, the whole night, fully furnished. And when
Mm-hmm.
I decided to stay and decided that we were still paying rent, I was saying, but this doesn't make no sense. You pay for rent and you don't live there. And then the people wanted the house because we weren't really living there either. And then the rent started go up at one point. So we decided to empty the house of the stuff. That time I was traveling back and forth. So I had to fly back home to take the stuff out of the house, to empty the house. I had to put some of my stuff at my aunt's house, some at Norman's parents' house, pack up everything. Norman was here. I was the one who went home to do all of the stuff.
We
My
apologize.
brother
Max
was
is
there at the time and a
yeah,
friend.
Yeah, her
yeah.
sound.
Max,
Yeah,
you're challenged with your
the
Wi-Fi.
sound is
So
delayed.
For a moment, you chipped
yeah,
out.
yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, continue. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had to pack up the stuff. And after I pack up the stuff, I put some at my aunt's house and at Norman's parents' house, and I came back, flew back like a week after. And let me tell you something, that thing bothered me. I was worried and stressed because here I am asleep in somebody's house, doing a job that I'm not accustomed to, don't want to do, but have to do. Staying at sister-in-law house, Sleeping on the floor, yes, because we never had a bed, we slept on the front. We got a
Thank you.
futon to sleep on. Yes, me sleep on floor in my sister-in-law house until we got a futon. She bought a futon so we could sleep in the living room and the futon both of us. And when I look back, guys, and see, oh, I had 3 beds, stove, fridge, the whole 9 yards, and nice
Me too.
good living. And here I was in a country asleep. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing? That's what I said to myself. It was very mind-boggling, very depressing for me. I cried so many nights. I went to bed. If pillows could talk, mine would. So I know how that is with what Lady D just mentioned a while ago. The fact that you left your good place, your good job, or your good liberty, and come here thinking, seeking better. And when you come, you realize in some cases it's worse. So if you're not, as if you don't slide into things, as Lady D just mentioned, sliding in means somebody didn't file for you, and you're able to just get into a nice job and have a good life, and you have to come and start all over again. It's very mind-boggling, I'm telling you. It was for me. So I know
And
how that is.
what too, and we're gonna hop on over to the chat and acknowledge some of our viewers, but some also you have had people who, like students who came up on a student visa, or yes, somebody filed for you and you came, and somehow you got distracted by way of the people you associate with. You lost your focus. So if you had planned to pursue your studies, or you planned to start a business, whatever it is, a lot of people have lost focus, and it's like they can't regroup. They can't recoup.
No.
Exactly.
They're just bobbing and weaving. We come from Jamaica, but they can't seem to find their footing.
Their footing, yeah.
They can't. And so you wonder.
That's what you call some people had the opportunity and don't use it.
And so you say to yourself, was this place really for me, wherever that country is? Is that really for me? Because after a while, you start to analyze and say, I had more drive when I was home. There was something within me. Now I come into this place. I may have been the brightest student in a class, and then suddenly I come into a school where I realize, but I'm not the brightest picnic here. So there are so many psychological things to it as well. Now you have to catch up because you're not the brightest one no more.
No.
Right? So there's so many, there are other children you realize who are way ahead of you. And, the catching up process is hard, because now how do you catch up when the whole time them say you did bright? You figure, so it might sound very simple, but it's not. So some they're not going bother with the school no more, and they drop out. And
they
so
go work.
And you end up, and with all due respect to the multi-billion franchises that are around the world, a lot of people end up there. We won't mention the names, but some just there, and that's where they stop.
Yeah, move beyond.
Because they don't know how to move on. So there are so many reasons why people are stuck, and why we, through our lens, can say, Farin agree with you, or in agree with you. What is it?
And you know what? Sorry, I was about to say, Farin agree with you and agree with you. It's not just deportment, education, liberty. It's even appearance, physical appearance. You ever see some people say they're foreign and they go to Jamaica and look and they wonder if they really come from foreign? Seriously, I'm serious.
And why you think that is? It's because life has dealt them a bitter blow.
Yes,
exactly.
So they come from foreign, so they only look from foreign people, and then Jamaicans are harsh people. They look at you, you come from foreign, you look mash up. Clothes don't look good, look physically well.
Yeah.
So,
and people, there are people who have done that intentionally,
Yes, too.
There are some people who have done that intentionally because they know when they return home, wherever home is, there
Mm-hmm.
is this.
Yeah, and I
And
know.
so rather than appearing to be doing well, they go back and say, you know what, appear all clothes may I carry, me not doing nothing excessive, right? Just so that, and they want to bring that
Yes.
authentic reality that don't think we're here picking up gold off the
Yes,
street,
because it's not so. Yes.
Exactly.
you know,
Yes.
Exactly.
and that a dollar is a dollar anywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to
Mm-hmm.
pay bills too,
Yes.
like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody did say to me,
Absolutely.
"Some they are fine where things so cheap. If me can send Oldbrook, come
Mm,
give them
yeah.
Oldbrook,
Right.
okay?
Things cheap.
When
Cheap.
when I had to be, it's just because I am the kind of person, I have a hustle mentality. So wherever I go, I try to
Not
find
hustler.
something. Yeah, I try to find something. The hustler, I mean, I talk about it. Well, you know what hustle mean. Me
Yeah,
not go
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
hustle to certain things.
We
You
follow.
understand?
We follow.
But listen, when I realized I'm not going back home, I started braiding my cousins' hair because our
Mm-hmm.
hair never looked good and our mother couldn't comb hair. So I
Mm-hmm.
started braiding her hair. And when she came in the day and saw her daughter's hair comb, that woman never met the pick me hair comb for the next month because
Mm-hmm.
she was so excited. She said she couldn't, she didn't have no time. And if she takes her to the hairdresser, how much it's going to cost her. So
Mm-hmm.
whenever her hair needs combing and she
Mm-hmm.
comes to the house, I comb her hair. So
Yeah.
from there now, one and two other children, and I one of the smartest things that you could do is find a church. Even if you're not church in a you know church in your heart, you know too much,
Mm-hmm.
you're the kind of person who is church like.
Got it.
Find a
Mhm.
church, link yourself to a church because you'd be
Mm-hmm.
surprised the resources that's
That
in
are
that church.
That's there. Yes.
Because that's where, and when I started going to my cousin's church, it's just a Presbyterian church. And I started talking to a lady who was sitting right next to me, and she asked me what work do I do, and I was asking her about work. I told her I was here and I was looking for work and whatever, and she said she knows somebody who was looking for a babysitter. I
Mm-hmm.
told her I had a young son too, so I really don't know how to go into somebody's house unless I can take the child. She said maybe they'll take the child to you. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. And she gave me an idea right there. And let me tell you,
Yes.
by the following week, I had 5 children taken care of in the house,
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You have to
in my
open your
cousin's
mouth.
house.
That's a good
But
point because you know what? Sorry for butting,
you
but
have to say something. And then somebody
yes,
is saying to me, don't tell too much people your business because people going to know, so you don't have the papers here. So if you don't talk, how are you going to get help?
Yeah.
How are you
yes,
going to
because
get
a lot of
help?
us
You
And
spend
got
and
to
time.
do that.
you are in an environment where that is common, right? To many
Yes.
people. So they will understand.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
Lady
they'll
D.
understand. I mean, you're not
Because
going
you
to be
can't tell
putting
everybody
it
you're busy,
out
but
on
there's
public
somebody who you have to
broadcast.
confide in.
Right.
Mhm.
I was
But
charging
people
those people
understand.
$50 a week. That time me never know the rate, to charge for babysitting.
So you're
$50
undercut
a week.
yourself.
What? Me never know. It was just $250,
And it's sweet them.
and then it's sweet them. Then this African
Yes,
lady,
it's
she bring
sweet
her
them
cousin. She
because
bring
they're
her
cheap.
cousin. Then she have another baby, and she bring the baby there. And let me tell you something. I 6 people me having at the house. A baby sit plus my
And you
son.
see how they are, though. They are not going to say to you, you know what, Jackie, you're really
You need
not
to
paying
raise
us
it.
the right rate.
Me
You
never know. I was just here. I mean, say we not have to go nowhere to work. We work right here, so. But let me
Yes.
tell you, every time something is going good, you have somebody who throw a monkey wrench in it. Them realize, say, I was making a little money,
Mhm.
Yes.
little money,
Yeah.
and me never ask anybody for anything. Next thing we know, I had to go back to Jamaica. It's like after a 6 month period, I had to go back to Jamaica. When I
Mhm.
came back, I got a message saying I have 1 day, 1 night, no
To
longer.
stay there. Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
was literally out the door, almost
Mm-hmm.
on the street. But my goal, I'm a fighter like that. I talk to people, and I was sleeping on a bed with my son and a pregnant friend of mine and her son. I put them on the bed and I sleep on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Stories of our
I
lives.
said, I work up myself, and I got a job, and I found a school, College of New Rochelle. I was paying out of pocket because I had a goal. So
Mm-hmm.
when you see me here today and what I've achieved and where I've gone to, don't talk. against me or don't talk against my education.
Right.
Or what. That was my goal. I came here for that.
Yes.
And
I'm here for that
spoke
reason.
of that recently because sometimes when people, boy, you know, you have to say the human nature is something else because people would like you to
Nature of right here.
apologize. Yes, they want you to
No,
regress so that you fit in. You can fit in and still be achieving as much as God will give you, and that you will
Absolutely.
allow yourself. I say that if we don't take ourselves seriously, nobody is going to.
nobody's going to.
So,
Yes.
whatever we say we are doing, do it and do it well. And if people don't
Yes.
want to, you know, appreciate you for your
Yeah,
ask, because sometimes you make an offer and they think that, oh, because you know down so and so or up so and so, how could you be making
exactly.
such an offer? But you know your capability.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
A
Only
country
you know
where
it.
you go to, any country we live in, and several of us here are from one particular country, and you have others who are not. But wherever you reside, nobody should stop you from doing the best you can and becoming the best person
Best person.
that you can
Exactly.
be.
Absolutely.
Why
Raise my
I
son
think
all by
no.
myself.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
No, 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 no,
you
no.
have to have.
We're not going that route. I am
No,
not
I mean,
apologizing to anybody for being the fighter I am, for being the person who wants to build a business, a brand. I am not apologizing for it.
Why should you? You have no reason to.
And the Lord is
yeah,
still protecting me, building a hedge around me. Because, you
yeah,
know, if you don't ask Him to build a fortress around you,
exactly.
Tell me about it.
then all
And we also have to.
unsundry will come at you. So
And we
Let me
when
tell
also
that
you
have to
something.
remember.
fortress is built,
Sorry, it's built.
you're covered, you're protected, and I ask Him to continue to protect me. So
Absolutely. Mhm.
individually, ladies, keep doing what you're doing and keep that fortress around us
Yeah, be
Yes.
because
humble and be humble.
this
In the meantime,
country
when you're
here,
trying to build, you don't cut people down either. You
well,
know,
yeah,
be a
Yes.
good, the
There's a
best
lot of
person that
people
you
do
can
that.
be giving and kind in the meantime. Yes, we have gone through a lot. And a lot of people, I've spoken to people, I have friends who say, you know what me go through, you think say me I go make you, make her, make this somebody or make these people get whatever. They don't care. Them just tell you that because of what they've been through, their journey to where they are
They're
today,
not
you're not
giving.
getting penny out of them like that. You're not even getting a thank you, a hello, or something. Because they might tell you, say, you know what me go through to get here, you know? But if you remain humble and just remember the path that took you to where you are now, that sometimes I remember a sermon was preached at church one time and I never forget it. It said, if you know what was in between, you wouldn't make that step.
right.
If
See,
God had shown you that it was going to be
Yes.
rough, hills and mountains, you would never take that step. And where would you
True.
be
True.
today?
True.
So that is necessary. It is necessary for us to go through that pathway
right?
to get to the other side. And from those stories in between that path, you can inspire somebody else. That's how
Absolutely.
I look at it.
So let's hop on over to our chat. So Betty says, Betty
You
said
want
the
to
next
go
day
over
I
the
want to
Jamaica
go back
picture.
because Jamaica prettier, the houses was nice. I hear you, Bet. No mind. Oh,
Yes, Betty,
um,
I can relate.
okay. Ryan says, thanks be to God. I was one of them.
Be to
Just moved
God, I
from
was one of
Jamaica in a good job and moved here the same.
them in the state.
Thanks
Yeah.
to God. So blessings, Ryan.
Good
You
for
don't
you,
know
Ryan.
about hardship.
Another
Welcome
story.
to all this. Hey, all this, my love. Morning,
All
morning.
this, yes.
We all the big word.
Ah,
Only I'm sure they can remember all the big word. I think I'm just,
wow,
Oh,
OMG.
yes, all this.
well, the word
Oh
give
my
me.
goodness. All
Mhm.
the word.
All right. Yvette says, good morning, Lady D. Morning, Yvette. How are you? Brenda, good morning. Good
Hi,
morning,
Good
Brenda.
morning.
Queens. Morning to you,
Queen.
Brenda.
And we see Chris is in the house too. Chris
Chris
from
will be
Caribbean Vibes.
the one. Chris will be. So
The
all
one
it
Chris
says,
will
Honestly,
be.
understand.
they don't understand, Max. So
Don't
much
understand some people come
misinformation
here.
and perception from people back home. That is true. So it
And
goes.
Yeah.
yes, we work all 2 or 3 jobs. Remember, we didn't have 2 jobs one time.
See your glory, but then you see your
Run
glory,
from
but then
one to
know
the
you stole.
other.
Mm-hmm.
You sell it from
Mm-hmm.
work, go to work.
Yes.
Weekend spree, what that did
Yes.
me.
Andrea says perseverance prevailed. Praise God for breakthrough. Amen.
Yes. Thank you,
So,
Jesus.
so Charles, he says we all could write our own books living in this
Right, oh,
country. They
Girl.
would be
sure.
bestsellers.
Seriously.
Morning,
That
Minister
drove me to
Tyson.
writing.
Mhm.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Yes. Charles, he says, which bag you take that word
How you
from?
take it?
Which one we did use again?
Which word that
He
again?
said the last time I hear that word. Aye.
Oh, the
Oh, we
mirrors
just say
me.
no.
Mirrors me.
Mirrors me. Well, I should grow with you, granny.
I tell you. So, Charles, he says sometimes you feel for them, and then you file for them, and then when they get here, you done your best. Next thing, they're not talking
Yes.
to you. Oh
They're not
dear.
talking to you. You think I lie? Like me
Mhm.
say, wanna be careful of them men wanna take up from Jamaica too. You don't even know them and filing for them. Do
Mhm.
the research because you know what you've been
Morning.
through to get this green card, and then I
Yes,
hear some stories.
absolutely.
Max, I'm sure you've heard some. I've heard some
Yeah,
stories.
with
I
them
just leave
people,
it
them
right there.
different people.
So all it says, thank God, things do become better for some, hopefully most. Mhm.
No, yeah,
And Brenda says, God is
that is
truly
true.
amazing. I give him praise every
Yep.
day. I had struggles too, but not too bad. Thanks for your help too, Lady D. You're welcome, my love.
Blessings to you, Brenda. Each one,
Mhm.
every one.
Aye, Parker, sing up a
Teardrops was
tune, yeah,
our
man.
pillow for
Teardrops was our pillar for days.
Yes,
Oh, what?
yes, I can relate to that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, Chris, him
You
hear
don't
him now.
know.
You have to be flexible and able to adjust. Some people don't have that muscle.
Yes,
Yes,
I don't
sir.
know what flexibility is.
So Chris says, me work every job
I
under the
work every
sun.
job under the sun.
And then some.
Same here.
So much, Chris. We understand. We
You have people who
understand.
not leave their home like me. I will give an
There are people, Albert says, there are people
True.
who will not
That
leave
is
their
here.
homeland to come here. Others will give an arm and a leg. It's not easy here, contrary to be
True.
thought of many, but it's still a good place in a lot of ways. That is true. All it.
Absolutely. You said it best.
Mhm,
True, true, true.
mhm. Yep, yep.
Yes.
Me have to me history as
Mhm.
a pitney, but me also have to me
So,
history as an adult.
right. It says, I saw a TikTok from someone saying if you are not sending over 200 US dollars, don't send
Me
anything.
too.
That's not funny at
Yes.
all. People work so very hard. Hopefully, she doesn't get another dollar.
There
Yes,
one lady
I
too
saw the
on there
TikTok
show her
post.
big
She serious
house in
about it.
Jamaica. And she has said
Mhm.
how people they are foreign for how many years and them can't have a house like this and she has show her house or whatever.
Yeah,
But
that's all
Yeah, I saw
right.
Facebook.
if
Mhm.
somebody really
I saw the
educate
video.
her that yes, you saw it, right?
I'm not gonna pay
Somebody
them no
need
mind.
to
Stand the time.
no, somebody need to educate her too if you say, yeah, dollar is a dollar in a country. And
Mhm.
thank goodness you can use your dollar, you can build a house. Whereas when people come here, they have to start from scratch.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And God's willing,
Mhm.
they can own a bigger house. Some
Mhm.
people decide not to own a bigger house, but live humbly.
Mhm.
So it's not a matter of being in a big
Absolutely.
house and have people target you, but people live
Mhm.
humbly, live a
But
very
here, what
quiet life,
the
and
thought
they're
behind
happy.
that is, if you have left your country because you thought you wanted better, how come better not happen for you yet?
Mhm.
That's how they see it, you know. They don't
Yes,
understand that, yes, you
Yes.
do have challenges moving someplace
And
else and
struggles.
things are
yeah,
delayed life
Yeah,
happens. And
exactly.
so that is the thought behind that.
Yeah.
And it is one of
Yes.
those, it's not out of compassion, it's out of a good
Yeah.
feeling where you're left
And
behind.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And what I would like to find out from them too, yes, you have a big house up there
Yeah.
showing, do you pay your taxes in that country? You know how many people out there have them big mansion, they have them big cars, and they don't pay taxes, and that means the country is not going to be better if you don't pay your taxes and your dues. People
Mhm.
here, that's one thing the IRS get right.
Don't play
They
with.
make sure they get their taxes from you.
They're not playing with that.
Yeah,
You have to.
Mhm.
and you see where that money goes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, and I want to just say, that those who are still having challenges, at least make sure you get a tax ID number. That's public knowledge. No need to know.
yes,
We don't have to censor nothing, nothing like that. Make sure, because down the road you need it.
yes.
You need to show that if you get $1, pay 50 cents.
Absolutely.
So it comes in to help. So
Yes.
We probably need to invite someone. Oh, Lady D, you have a lot of knowledge
and
about,
if you
the
don't,
immigration
yeah,
since things have changed and so on.
yeah,
Look, a few things have changed, and people
yes,
need to be updated because some people are still living in the past and
yeah.
thinking about, so we probably one of those shows we probably need
still in
to,
hiding, still
along
hide
with,
from the thing.
yeah, still hiding. You along with somebody else with even more knowledge, a lawyer, somebody like that could come on and we could have a discussion.
That's an idea, Jackie. So I'll set it up.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's an awesome idea.
Yes.
Wonderful
And
suggestion.
wonderful. Thanks, Jack. And don't forget, if you haven't yet subscribed, help me, no man. Help we. We need to get to the 1,000
Yes.
subscribers. What are you doing? We need to subscribe, man. Subscribe, like, share. Just tip as you're watching there, you can just tap like, right? Spike the
Yes,
like.
that's,
And tap subscribe.
Yeah, as you're watching, just
yeah.
like. Even if you're
I
a
just remember
subscriber, just
something.
like. Go ahead, Jack.
I just remember something. I was speaking to a friend of mine the other day, and she has an uncle. The man has been in this country 45 years, and he just went back to Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
with only a suitcase.
And what happened?
45 years he's been here. Never had a green card, never had nothing, but he's lived in this country for 45 years. He returned to Jamaica with only a suitcase. So that's one of those people who I think Farin never agree with. Or him never agree with Farin. Maybe we should turn it around. He never agree with Farin. Because he used to run the streets and he used to, yeah. And I was telling my sister that what the program was going to be this morning, my sister and my mother, and about trying to agree with people. And she said, just simply drive into the parking lot of Walmart at night, and you will see the real truth about who Farin agree with. Because there are several people in Walmart's parking lot sleeping at night, and some of them are our own people.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what happened.
And it is
because people don't prioritize. That's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times they don't prioritize what they need to do.
And we understand that, we're not here working with a genie. We're the one that just go around. So, and you just say, come here, green card. Right? It doesn't work like that.
Me not work for the white man. Me not work for the white man. I say, what you doing in that white man country then?
Yeah. People have people are hesitant because this, I've worked in places where I've seen the downfall of certain arrangements, and that has gone horribly bad. So people are sometimes fearful because you have all good intentions, but the other person doesn't have your interest.
That's true.
So people are very careful. People are careful and very fearful.
And sometimes because they're too fearful and careful, they still don't get anywhere. Sometimes in life, you have to run risk and you have to make a try. You can't just sit there with your arms folded up and say, "Boy, I'm not trying."
Lady, you need to block this. You need to block this subscriber, this person who just came on with some.
Oh, sometimes they come on.
Yes. Yeah. We need to block them.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. Block you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Bingo.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Goodbye to you.
sometimes it's not like, 'cause I know of an individual right now. This person has been here for years, ages, years before I came here. This person has been here. This person has a nice job, good paying government job, and this person still live in a furnished apartment, furnished, rented apartment, not his
Mm-hmm.
furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Rent the place with furnished. This somebody could have owned a house. This person could
Mm-hmm.
own a house.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But
So
people
Yvette
just do
says,
what they want to do and do what they
yeah.
want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yvette
So,
says the house she was showing wasn't hers.
And event to true.
who knows?
So Herman says they don't understand that you have to creep before you walk. So they can say
Yes.
anything they want to say until pangs of hell reach them and they have to change them too.
Thank you.
Mhm.
True,
Yeah.
true.
Yep. Yep.
Big
Yep.
discussion,
So
great discussion, great show. There's so much
yes.
to say.
Yeah.
Mhm. So Charles, he says, go down 125th Street in Harlem many a day.
Mm-hmm.
I cried to see my own people on my way to work.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's rough out there. It's rough
Yes.
out there.
When we had another night restaurant, we heard so many people coming and share stories with us. And I'm telling you, we heard some stories we wondered. I could write
Mhm.
another book. Not just poetry this
Yeah.
time, but other stuff.
Mhm. Good morning, Marie. How are you? Yes. But we're going to wrap up now, ladies. I believe we've had
Yes.
a good run,
Yes.
but foreign enough for everybody.
Mm-mm.
And we are not saying it in a malicious way, but
No.
if we decide so we come, then you make use of what is
The best of
available
it.
to you.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
again, that's relative. If it's the soda pop, you go sell it. I mean, I was walking street and look work
Ito.
and I tell people, me we do anything. And they look at you,
Yeah.
what is anything?
I know.
You want to be specific.
I sure you don't want to fry chicken.
one of my first jobs working outside the home.
This is a quick little joke. Sorry, this is a quick little
Was
joke.
it that?
When my sister lived in Jamaica. My sister, she's now living in Florida, but she lived in Jamaica. She was looking for a job. So lady there, I don't know if you know the chicken shop in Junction. Everybody when they leave Kingston, everybody stop at Junction to buy bread and chicken, fried
Mhm,
chicken.
mhm.
So my sister went there, and when the owner for the place see her, or she dressed and looked like, she said, "Hey man, look what I said. I sure you don't want to fried chicken." Because she
So
was so
what?
dressed up and prim and proper. I sure you would want to fry chicken.
Mhm. Well, see, I tell you. But yes, we put it in perspective and say, fine, wherever foreign is for you,
Mm-hmm.
is it for you or is not for you? Because if we are here for years and we still not find we footing, I am not going to say to you, go back where you come from. Where you go back with?
No, you can't.
We wouldn't be doing that. There's no way. I remember talking to a friend of mine. She works at Price Waterhouse Coopers. I don't know if she's still there, maybe. But one time she had asked me, on a one-off conversation, that she's thinking of coming here and what I thought. And I was very honest and encouraging to say, hey, this is where you're at now in your life. When you come, you have to go start over. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not that if you come, you couldn't make your own footing and get
Mm-hmm.
yourself. So she said she appreciated it. Because there are those who will tell you, come man, and even offer to put up people, knowing that
Mm-hmm.
they would be able to sustain all of that. And then
Mm-hmm.
when people come, they put them out. You have to
Yeah.
weigh the pros and the cons
Yeah.
before you make a decision. And that is the truth.
Yeah.
But if you're here already, go through it. Go through
Yeah.
it
Make
till
best
you
of
get
it.
to where you want to.
Yeah.
So,
And
yes,
and on a positive note too, we're not saying that it cannot work for
of course
some
not.
people. You have your goal and you stick with it, even though sometimes you might veer off to do, let you go clean toilet in order to go to school or something like that. You clean toilet at night so you can go to school in the day, or something like that. Whereas you're coming from a big office work in Jamaica, it's completely different. You're in a different country. You can learn to make ice cream and make money here. You know, and I remember my brother and I, we went through it. We slept on floors, and now my brother can't. We said any of the family that comes afterwards, they won't have to go through what we went through, because we went through it for them. So when they come, nobody will have to treat them in the way that we were treated, and that's exactly what we did. You know, things went a little awry for me, and look where I am. I'm with my brother.
There you go.
The internet just chipped out. Right. My brother is now a nurse traveling all over this country, works in trauma and emergency rooms all over this country. And he's stuck with it. He's stuck with the plan. And here I am today. I'm with him, and we're doing it for the family.
There you go, Jackie. And that's a positive note to end on this morning. It is 17 after 11. We would like to thank everyone who spent the time to join us here on the platform, Satideh Morning Runnings on the YouTube channel. We appreciate you. And you know, those who've commented and so on, we thank you. Those who simply listened, because there are a lot of people who watch, they may not participate, but they walk away with nuggets from the show. And that's what we like about the show. It's not scripted. The only script is me reading the introduction on a Saturday morning. And we know our topic. That's it. But it's not scripted.
No.
You know? So all it says, Lady D, when you tell them the truth, they believe you don't want them to come. Well, you know, yeah, that happens too. And foreign is not for we one. You know.
Thank you, Aldi. Thank you. Thank you. Because sometimes when you hear the stories, you know, family don't treat each other good. You wonder if it's the same Jamaica we're coming from, or same Caribbean island. Because it's not only Jamaicans that behave that way. We don't treat family, you don't treat people wonderful. When we come to this country, it's like a totally different person. But we have decided, thank God for my mother and how she raised us. She said, stick together. That's how it's going to work.
Yes, but you know
That's
what?
how it's gonna work.
For many of us, even if we weren't raised that way, because when we came here and our experiences were so difficult, we feel that when they come, they need to go through the same process. Why?
Yes,
true. Why?
And that's what it is, you know. When they come, we say, listen, me did have to do this and me did have to do that. Rather than what you just alluded to, Jackie, which is what you're doing, that both your family help the others when they come. So that they don't have to have that experience.
Right.
And it's true.
Because you already built the base. Yes.
But we're gonna share the experience, you know.
So we do.
But we're gonna share the experience, so you know that it wasn't easy. We're gonna let you know how we managed, how we survived. You know?
And everybody will tell you have to go manage for yourself, and then literally just let people out into a culture they know nothing about.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, but you know, how we were raised, everybody have to fight for themselves. Some cultures don't do that, and that's why we don't understand when we see some cultures, you know, the Asian community, they do that. You see, all of them Chinese people, place where we are walking to go buy fried chicken wing and this and that. You see them and let them people out there just go on their own. They do not do that. If it means upstairs, the place going pack up with 50 of them in there, and everybody in rotation working in the restaurant.
Yes.
Right? Children going to school, everything is happening, but they're not leaving their loved ones to go pan for themselves out into the world of a country you know nothing about. So we want to say thanks. I think Miss Max has had some difficulties along the way.
Okay.
But we want to say thanks, everybody. And looking blessings to you, Vero, and everyone. Thanks.
And we miss our partners, Jen and Sharns.
Yes.
We miss them this morning. God be with you guys.
We hope to see them back next week. But Saturday morning, running's day.
Always.
I just want to bless up you ladies for always being here and, you know, sharing your experiences and all the good stuff that comes with life. So
Yes.
for those of you
A
who
lot of
remember
time our stories that
taking that
somebody else.
plane, you remember that plane where you did sit down into the time? That plane. Remember the
See
plane?
when they make the same one that we have in a picture there with the dinner.
Remember those of you who say you're coming to university and you start out university. Remember those
Yes.
who continue to be the cleaning lady,
Oh,
you know, or you're the babysitting,
Yes.
and them will
I
say
used
so.
to cleaning lady at
And
one time. Yes.
when and the thing of that is so that
So that's
bothers
so.
my mind is they love to ask, so what you do over there? And if you say, well, I'm a nanny, then you have to make a figure be nanny, you know, that kind of thing. Or you have risen to the position of being a doctor, or you're a fly plane,
Doctor now.
you know. As for
somebody
that,
they just said I'm a garbage man, and Lord Jesus is the man nearly father nearly kill him. Garbage, you left Jamaica to go to on garbage man. So the father nearly kill him. I say, I wonder if him knows the garbage.
they're well
Man, we pick
paid.
up the garbage here
Hello.
are well paid.
Yeah, those ancillary positions, yeah. And the day
Yes,
when
they
we
get a lot of money.
so those who get them citizenship and whatever, we just want to say blessings. And the struggle
Blessings.
continues, and some of us will
Yes.
not struggle for much longer.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. The Lord bless and keep
Yes.
you for the weekend and into the
God be
coming
the
week. And
glory.
ladies, I'm not gonna end this show without you being. Jackie, I made a PSA, so I'm gonna say to you, we need 2 cake.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about the sizes and stuff
Yes.
after.
No
Yes.
problem. So, Max.
Yes, get the max out of Max Ford. Of course, you all know that I do poetry and I do music. I'm a writer. My book is available on Amazon, or you can get a signed copy from me direct. And of course, I do performances. I have a performance coming up in March. Oh my God, I can't wait to break the stage. And of course, you can find me on
Nice.
all downloadable platforms, all social media platforms. Be there everywhere, including myriad. Thank you, Lady D, for the platform. I love being here.
And Max, I hope we'll
Well,
be
I
able
love
to
them
be in
before.
the audience. We want to be in the audience, you know.
Yes, yes, I want you all to come and have come club and sing. What are you talking about?
Oh, yes, man. The pudding pan. The pudding pan is, me just wash it out and put it down. I wish Lady D was here the other day to lick that pan for me.
I tell you.
But the pudding pan still at work, and I'm taking orders just the same. I have the last set of Christmas orders this week. So just call me 917-533-2380, or my email is right there, puddingpantop@gmail.com.
There you go. And yours truly, Lady D Denise Gomez. For most of you who are aware, but if you're not, I am the presenter and producer of Inside the Zone. It's a twice weekly radio program aired on Linkage Radio, Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And that segment is called The Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. And on Thursdays, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and that segment is called Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. I'm a voiceover specialist and working on that particular skill. So sooner or later, hello.
Hello.
So into stage management, production, and so much more. And I'm a child of God. Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So very quickly, Jack, as you were saying about your pudding pan, when we discuss off air, I'm hoping that you'll be able to mail some of the batter.
It's butter, not butter.
Some of the batter. Some of the batter for
Some
me.
of the batter for
If
her.
If you're doing
sell her 2 cake and a pan of butter.
So if you express it, I'm sure, I won't get any belly. The belly won't hurt me. I'll be fine.
I don't trust that.
Woo, Jesus.
Jesus.
So that's how we
Oh
end
my
the show this morning, ladies and gentlemen, with the laughter. But it has been good.
God.
Ladies, blessings and enjoying yourself, everybody. We out, we
Yes.
out, we
All right.
out.
Drown a sorry. All right.
Okay,
Bye
bye-bye,
bye.
everybody.
Bye.